All right, good morning. Today is gonna be a little bit of a struggle as I have my garage door closed because they're doing some construction outside. So I have some ample light. Hopefully it's not too intense. Hopefully you guys will join in. Today is gonna be a tutorial on the goblet squat. I have a kettlebell, a plate, and a dumbbell that I'm gonna be going over. The goblet squat will be going over points performance, setup, execution. This will also help improve your squat position. So if you have tight hips, hamstrings, ankles, you have a hard time getting to the bottom of the squat, this exercise will help improve your bottom squat position and also your squat position overall. So that will help transfer over to a barbell or anything that you're deciding to squat, whether that be kettlebell, plate, etc., but specifically to a barbell. So if you guys are looking for a coach and want someone to help you reach your fitness goals, check out the link below. That is my community and fitness app you can join and be a part of, and I will be your coach for you. So let's get started. We're gonna start off actually with the kettlebell. So you guys can see my position. Hopefully I wore gray shoes so you can see. Your feet are gonna be underneath your shoulders. If we talk about the basic squat position, you're gonna push your hips straight down, pushing the knees to track over the toes, getting your hip crease below top of the thigh, and then you're going to stand in full extension. Now, in this position, I'm bracing my midline. I want to think of pushing out into my abs or pushing out into my rib cage as I go to squat. If you feel like your torso comes forward very aggressively, like so, then this goblet squat tutorial will help you improve that position. So with the kettlebell, we're going to start with the kettlebell. I prefer for this goblet squat with the kettlebell to hold the handle like so. So you can see that both hands are on each side of the kettlebell. The handle's actually facing down. I prefer that as compared to this, because that handle is in the chin. You have to go a little bit lower with the kettlebell hand or the kettlebell bell. So this allows me to tuck it in right underneath my chin, and I can keep my arms close to the body. The closer the arms, the better in terms of keeping that weight supported by your wrist versus going out like so. So try to keep everything tucked in close together. As I get set up, I have those squat points performance I just talked about. And I squat, I want to think of keeping my chest as tall as possible as I go into that squat. So my hips are going down, and I'm using this load to counterbalance. So if you feel like you fall forward or hinge forward a lot, this will allow you to keep the torso a little more upright and give you some balance as you descend into that squat and then stand up. Now notice my elbows, they may move out slightly as I go into the squat, but make sure the elbows and knees never touch. So elbows are close, almost like they're inside my legs, and then I'm gonna extend, getting full range of motion. So goblet squats can help improve the position with doing it in a kettlebell position, or with a kettlebell, excuse me. The next, we'll be grabbing a dumbbell. Now I recommend starting light so you guys can get the technique and form, and then play around with position and load after that. So with the dumbbell, I prefer to wrap my hands around one top of the dumbbell versus holding it like so. If for whatever reason you cannot do this, this is always an option for the goblet squat with the dumbbell. I prefer this as it allows me to keep my wrists and forearms down underneath, where this, it changes up a little position. I will have a more parallel position, wrist, elbows here, but I prefer this. But again, play around with what works best for you. Same points of performance, right? Feet underneath my shoulders. As I descend into the squat, I keep my body, arms close to my body, excuse me, and then hips go down and back, getting my hip crease below that top of the thigh or top of the knee, and then extending. Now, if you have a difficulty getting to the bottom position, you can always squat to a bench, a box. A medicine ball can be a great target. The medicine ball can be a contact point for the bottom of your glute and the top of your hamstring. That allows you to give some feedback. So again, goblet squat positioning, arms close to the body. The closer the object is to the body here, the better it will be in terms of pulling yourself forward. Again, so if you have a very forward position, it's going to have to really keep it close to your torso so that you can perform the squat with a more upright torso versus hinging forward. So again, goblet squat with the dumbbell. Those are two options. Again, start with light load and then increase from there. A rep scheme that you can do this in terms of taking it out for strength building. You could do heavier weight. So if you're gonna go strength, let me reverse. If you're gonna do strength, more of a strength base, you wanna think lower reps, heavier weight. So like 5 by 5, 5 sets of 5 reps, or 5 sets of 3 reps with heavy load, right? If you're learning the movement and looking to get down the points of performance and the execution movement, go a little bit lighter load, maybe go a little higher reps, maybe 8 to 10 reps. You could do 8 to 10 reps, rest a minute to 2 minutes, then perform 3 to 4 sets. This similar type of programming is something you would see in my Strength and Tone program, which is part of my community and my fitness app. It's helping you build strength, lose fat, and then get a little bit of heart rate up with a conditioning and finisher piece that will help you in aid you losing fat and building muscle. So if you want more, check out my fitness app. Now, I'm gonna go over one more goblet squat, and this is gonna be with a plate. I'm gonna talk about a little bit of positioning and where that plate will be in regards to your torso. This will be helpful more in terms of mobility and positioning, more so than it would be in terms of a strength training component. So let's cover that real quickly. So this plate, just a traditional plate, this is a Rogue Fitness plate that I have. This is 10 pounds. You don't have to necessarily use one that's big. If you have maybe those metal plates that are a little bit smaller, you can use that. This will allow you to play this position as I talk about the squat. So it's gonna be a goblet squat in the sense where I'm keeping the load in front of my body, but now I'm gonna change the positioning and extending it out. So still points of performance here. If you have a very tight lower body, or even back, hips, hamstrings, this can help with positioning. So I'm gonna show from a profile. So as I squat, I have two options. I can keep the load close to my body if you feel comfortable doing that, but I prefer you to start with doing this. I'm gonna squat, I'm gonna push that load out in front of me to balance myself, or like a counterbalance. Then I pull it in as I stand. So I squat down, I pull it out, hold, and then come back up. We're not holding the bottom position too long, but the tension of this exercise is to help counterbalance your body so you can get more of a vertical torso. So if you do have a very forward-leaning position in the squat, you can go a little wider with your stance, then you also incorporate this goblet squat with a plate. As you get more comfortable and as you get stronger and more flexible, you don't have to go as far out with your arms. Maybe you go a couple inches and then come back. Just be aware of your knees and elbows, make sure they don't touch. That's a safety component. So again, as I feel more comfortable, I can decrease the weight in that plate going out, and I can keep that load in front of me. So that's also a modification that you can incorporate, again, using it as technique and positioning and mobility, then eventually get to the dumbbell, the kettlebell, etc. If you guys found this beneficial, please feel free to share with friends and family. Feel free to share a like. Feel free to leave a comment below of what you liked. What would you like to see more of? A shout out to an individual on Twitter who was asking about goblet squats. So thank you so much for the suggestion. I touched a little bit base about goblet squats in terms of the squat series, but this is something that I wanted to specifically focus on a little bit more. Hopefully you couldn't hear the noise and the construction in the background, but if you did, I apologize. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much for your information. And I saw Eric, thanks for the comment. I really appreciate it. Yes, you're now open ready. For those that are doing the open, it is a 3-week online competition with CrossFit that starts Friday. I competed in CrossFit for many, many years, so I'm gonna try to jump in on the workouts if my schedule pertains. But for those that are getting after it, good luck, have fun, enjoy it, and be in that moment. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tune in later. I'll be going over one of the exercises that I'm doing in some of my ninja training for American Ninja Warrior that I'll be doing next month. So I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Have a great day.